A few minutes ago in Brussels, the United Kingdom's permanent representative to the EU handed a letter to the President of the European Council on my behalf, confirming the government's decision to invoke Article 50 of the Treaty on European Union. The Article 50 process is now underway, and in accordance with the wishes of the British people, the United Kingdom is leaving the European Union.
Well, Britain is finally leaving the EU. After over 40 years of working on economic and social progress, Britain's decided it has had enough. We don't want the multitudes of benefits that being in the EU has given us. We'd rather have the ability to make our own laws and stop sending so much money over to the European Union. Oh, what's that? We can already make our own laws, and we're going to be economically worse off as a result of Brexit. The whole Brexit campaign was such a shit show that even one of the main campaigners for Brexit, and generally all-around knobhead Boris Johnson, didn't want to go anywhere near the Prime Minister's job because he knew that it would be political suicide. But hey, he's everyone's lovable fool, tackling children and making ridiculous basketball shots. We should probably forgive him when he comes to make another bid for the Prime Minister's job when the whole Brexit shenanigan calms down.
Very nice.
To make things worse, Nigel Farage, former leader of the UKIP party, who can often be seen donning a hunting jacket and drinking a pint of beer to maintain his appearance as a British hero, said he would leave the country if Brexit was a failure.
Tony, if Brexit is a disaster, I will go and live abroad.
What a prick. He's been the most vocal proponent for Brexit. If it fails, we're not letting you move abroad, Nigel. You'll have to suck it up like the rest of us. Talking of sucking, I haven't even got started on our amazing vampiric Prime Minister, Theresa May. If you thought Thatcher was bad, just wait until you see her try to steer this sinking ship onto the mainland. Although technically, if anything, we're trying to distance ourselves from the mainland. Theresa May has been so dogged in her determination to push through Brexit, even if Britain doesn't have a trade deal in place, or that it could potentially lead to the breakup of the United Kingdom. It really makes you wonder whether at this point she doesn't really care about the future of Britain, but rather would like to see her name go down in the history books for commencing this generation-defining event. One of the key arguments for Britain leaving the EU was that uncontrolled immigration had surged to unsustainable levels, and this was having an impact on British workers' wages and for the unemployed their ability to find jobs. So are the proponents for Brexit really worried that skilled migrant labour coming to this country would be competing in the same job markets as them? It's a little ridiculous, and furthermore the media have scapegoated immigrants as the reason, blaming them for all of society's ills, and in particular the ever-challenging employment market. But what they're not telling you is that economic inequality continues to grow, and the middle class is quickly becoming eradicated. Prices continue to rise, our wage remains the same, and we're poorer as a result. As we allow the media to put blame on certain groups in society, the problem remains unaddressed, and it will only grow. As a result of this, we've been lied to about the state of our economy and society, and under the pretenses of those lies, decided to leave the EU. There's no doubt that being a part of the EU brought many benefits, some of which we have grown to take for granted. And the unknown is scary, but what's done is done. All the British people can do now is come together and not let this be a divisive issue. I'm not saying you have to agree with someone who has differing opinions, but we have to find a way to make it work, as we always do. This has been The Sunny Side. Until next time.